Yes, good evening, students.
Very good evening, sir.
Yeah, Vinod Reddy from where is your study center?
23.
23 year only, right. Are you attended my earlier classes?
No, sir, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah. In media management, we have 12 units.
Okay.
Yeah, first unit is media management. You know, media is a big industry in India. We have broadcasting, podcasting, and internet industry related to the news. So that is why we call it is a big industry in the in management, right? Is my voice is clear to you?
Yes, sir, we are able to hear you.
Right. This is here is some signal problem today. Signal problem and all this.
Sir, if you are talking, you are on mute, sir. Sir, you are still on mute, sir.
హలో, వినిపిస్తుందా
Uh,
ఇప్పుడు?
yes, sir.
ఓకే. ఏం లేదు, నేను అది ఒకటి ఐఎమ్ ట్రయింగ్ టు share my PPT, but it is unable to sharing. So that is why some problem is here.
Okay, sir. We thought you are continuing the class and you are on mute.
No, no, I am trying to share my PPT. That is why it is getting delay. So
No
even though
problem.
no PPT, I will continue.
Sure,
Uh,
sir.
I am again trying. Host is as I am the host now. I will try now.
Okay, sir.
Few minutes, just 1 minute or two. Right?
Take your own time, sir. Thank you.
Right, right. I will. మీ ఏజ్ ఎంత? 43. ఈ అమౌంట్ ఇప్పుడు ఎమర్జెన్సీ ఉంటుంది, ముందు అక్కడ కట్టి పేషెంట్ అక్కడ కట్టేసి పేషెంట్ దగ్గర ఇచ్చేయాలి. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm unable to upload my PPT. Okay. Anyway, I will continue with my my presentation directly. So, in media management, particularly, we have two words. One is a planning, another one is a control. Right? Two words we have to remember. One is a planning, and another one is a
Control.
yeah. So here we need to some discussion about the earlier we have in the textbook there is a register of a newspaper for India, but it is renamed now. It is a Press Register General of India, and we have earlier Press and Books Registration Act (PRB) Act. It is a British time Act 1867, but recently we have Press and Registration of Periodicals Act 2023. Here is some background we have to discuss here. And the total number of registered publications as per 31st March 2022 is 1.46045, means 1,46,000 around we have registered publications. And in these we have again two categories. One is a newspaper, another one is a periodicals, like a journals, like magazines, those called be periodicals. So newspapers category again 20,000, and periodicals are number, means 1,25,000 related to the periodicals. And again we have discussed about the broadcasting. So we have a 9,000 private television channels, satellite television channels in India by February 2021. Again 50 Doordarshan channels also in various languages, in various subjects like Jnanavani, Jnandarshini, and related to Sansad, Doordarshan Sansad. That is also we have. Next, main principles of management. Why the management is important? Management has been defined as a distinct process consisting of activities of planning, organizing, operating, and controlling. For what? To achieve the specific goals, specific objectives. Here is who will handle the manager. Manager will handle the management. We know the management levels like lower level, upper level, middle levels, middle level manager and upper level. Low level managers means like assistant managers. Upper level managers means general managers in a particular organization or a newspaper or a
CEO.
broadcast agency or any private agency, wherever it is. It is applicable for all. The manager categories is there is a three types. Now coming to the particularly to the media, what is the media activities? General managerial functions like planning, organization, coordination, motivation, control. These are the very general functions.
Yes, sir.
Coming to the media, additionally, there is a editorial. Here is a we have to focus on the more core activities related to the uh, related to press, either print or broadcasting. The main department is here editorial and advertising. For print media, production. For broadcast media, there is a uh, production control room that is equivalent to print media printing press. It is a for broadcast media, it is a production control room. And personal departments, accounts department, HR departments, based on the depends on the organization capacity. For major organizations, they may continue with more departments. Small organizations, they may continue with limited departments. Now, because we are discussing here why this is from first unit, because
The
many
first
other
unit, sir.
centers, yes, this is from first unit only, but
Yes, sir.
many other centers students, it is also recording. It is records in the YouTube also. So it is benefited to them. That is why I am focusing on the first unit again. Instead of offline classes, again I am focusing on the first unit in the online classes also.
Thank you, sir.
So now coming to the main principles of media management. You know, management management. What is management? Management means it is a scientific research. They they made some standards. They have some planning. They make control. There is a cooperation. All this include is called management. Simple definition. Main words you have to remember, that is a planning, control, cooperation.
Yes.
These are the main words. Main objective. Another principle of management is objective. So any organization, they
Like
have
businesses and sales.
yes, either business, sales, or broadcasting, printing, otherwise the internet media means new media,
Yes.
cyber media. Anyone have some aim. So maybe it is a financial aim. Otherwise, they may they may prepare to any particular party, particular society, particular religion, particular section. So their aim is to achieve their objectives. Now, another management principle is a specialization. That is a so in an organization there is a number of personnel, maybe from the lower order means office subordinate to a higher cadre means general manager. So there is a division of labor, specific tasks and specific responsibilities to each candidate, each worker, each employee in the office. Another principle is effective supervision. That is we call a span of control. If there is a no effective supervision, it may not run properly. Any organization it is. Another principle is authority and responsibility. One more is unity of command, direction, otherwise order giving. So generally, who will give the orders? The head of the department, of the particular department. Otherwise, the head of the department of whole organization. So he coordinates with all other departments, directors. Here is we have to discuss about this some exception principles, like for a manager at every level, manager should take all decision within the scope of authority, and only matters behind the scope of his authority should be prepared to is a superior of superior for decisions. Sometimes he is not a person to take a decision. There is again managing director, CMD. Somewhere it is a board of members, board of directors, some executives. They may take decision. Otherwise, for example, for government institution, who is the, for example, related to INPR department and information and public relations department, there is a minister and there is a commissioner, there is a director. So they will take the decisions. And another principle is a scalar principle. Scalar principles means it is depends on the hierarchy of involving some superior to subordinate relationship. It is a this is a hierarchy. You know, the general manager gives some directions. Next level managers, they may go with they obey the rules and regulations. They obey what the policies of the organizations. And another major function, major principle is remuneration of personnel. So each employee, each skill, based on their skills, there is a salary based on their skills. So it is depends on the management. Some levels already we have discussed, some upper level, middle level, lower level managements. And in general, what kind of departments in the organization?
Accounts department,
Admin department, marketing department, finance, HR, sales, IT, RD, and means research and development, production, customer services, communication, quality. These type of departments in any general management, general organizations. But particularly coming to the media industry, already we have discussed is like uh, media industry mainly focus on the editorial department. Second one is advertising. Actually, advertising is the key, is the heart of the any media organization. Either it is a print or broadcasting, whatever it is. So mainly in the media, editorial department, advertising department, production department, sales related means here is in a print media, circulation department, and printing like a production, either in a newspaper it is a production department, in a broadcasting also there is a production control room. There is also different kind of personals, they do their activities. Right? Up to here, you may clear, I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
And their scope is marketing and advertising.
Yeah, ultimate is a marketing only. Ultimate
Yes,
is a marketing only. Any organization, either it is a media industry or any production industry.
okay.
Right? What is the profession? Coming to the media profession, there is a types of mass media that includes print media. Again, print media, there is a newspapers, magazines, and coming to the broadcast media means that is we generally call the electronic media. And electronic media again is there is a two types: television news channels and radio. Radio again there is a general entertainment channels, FM channels also. But recent days we know in FM channels also they are giving 2 minute news coverage. And coming to the other major media industry is a new media. This is based on the internet, right? Now coming to the individual media type and their history. Now coming to the print media in India, the Bengal Gazette in 1978, it is the first newspaper.
Icky.
Bengal. Hickey's Bengal Gazette. Hickey, Augustus Hickey is the founder. Later, we have many newspapers related to our religion. Early days newspapers means not exactly newspapers. There is publications
Vegetarian.
mainly focused on the religion orientation. Then after they included some news articles also. What is news? News means who, what, 5W and H. We learned in the earlier.
Inverted pyramid.
No. Uh, that is a style.
Okay.
But 5WH is if any information which contains 5WH and that should be new, to the audience, that is called news. And there is a significant roles in the print media, the emergency. During the emergency, there is a many curbs, many controlling by the then government. Then after again, very much some liberties came. And here we have to discuss about the 1991 liberty. 1991, there is a policy, new industrial policy, which is introduced by the then Prime Minister and Home Minister, Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao, and the then Financial Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh. There is a, we know, uh, in general we call it is a LPG, liberalization and privatization and globalization. So post 1991 new industrial policy, foreign direct investments included even in the print media and broadcast media also. The percentage is now 26% allowed in the print media and broadcast media.
Sir, later it increased to more than this percentage,
No,
right?
no. In it is in still it is a 26% only in news televisions, but entertainment televisions. Coming to the entertainment televisions, there is 100% is allowed. FDI, foreign investments, foreign direct investments. 100% is allowed in the entertainment channels, but coming to the news channels, it is only 20%, 26% only still. Right? Now coming to the television, in 1950s, we witnessed the television run in the Delhi Municipal Corporation. Then after 19 65 some experimental based television programs also there, and in 1965 in Doordarshan Kendra there is a news bulletin which is first started, and then after cable television in a hierarchy there is a cable television come in a order. The main main reform here is a cable networks. Cable networks means Star TV, GTV. So there is a G network, Star network are the initial stage. In 1990s, we witnessed 1991, 92, there is a Star network, G network. Earlier, only just a cable through with the cable wire. Yeah. Next, emergence. There is also number of technology. There is also number of technology parts. Like we now witnessing the DTH system. Is my voice is clear to you?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, sir.
Yes. Now we have a direct to home DTH services also available. Particularly to Doordarshan channels, we have 50 Doordarshan channels now available based on the religion and some professional means some sections like farmers and students and some parliamentarian. There is a, for parliamentarian there is a Doordarshan Sansad channel is there. Now coming to the new media, information dissemination through new media was in the form of portals in the mid 1990s. Now we see in our WhatsApp way to news very frequently we see, and that is one example. Coming to the Indian first portal is indiaworld.com. There is actually they borrowed news from the famous newspapers in 1990s. Even though in 1990s there is a newspaper is the dominant role in the media. Now we witnessed in the social media and the televisions also. Even though newspapers are still continuing, and the newspapers print media still it is continuing, but how it may be, it is because of literature. Now the literacy rate is high. So earlier very low literature. Now the literacy rate is high. So many of now buying newspapers and reading. Even though in the modern social media availability, television channels also. But in overall there is a decline. But what is called in overall there is a some increase is there, depends, it is based on the earlier stage some 30 40 years ago. Now we'll go with the ownership patterns of mass media in India, like chain ownership first, and cross media ownership, conglomerate ownership, vertical integration, and other forms like sole proprietorship type of ownership, private limited company, public limited company, trust, management, these kind of types of ownerships we have in the print media. Now coming to the main patterns, that is a chain ownership pattern. China ownership pattern means the same media company owns numerous outlets in a single medium. It could be a chain of newspapers, a series of radio stations, and a string of TV stations. For example, some main ownership in India mainly applies to newspapers. Now we are in print media. So now we are discussing about the print media. Many publishing groups fall into in this group, like the Hindu, Hindustan Times. So here is only their only particular medium. The Hindu only in print media only, not in broadcasting media. They have the Hindu business line. They have some Tamil newspaper also, the Hindu. like that in the Hindustan Times and other many organizations. Now, coming to cross media ownership, this phenomenon is seen when the same company owns or owns a different media organizations like a newspaper, television, and also radio, etc. Here is a, for example, we have our in Telugu states, we have Eenadu and Sakshi, and also Andhra Jyoti. They have newspapers, they have some broadcasting, and also particularly to Eenadu, there is a, that is again different cadre uh, that has newspapers, television channels, FM radios, and also in other industry also like pickles, chit funds, dolphin hotels. So cross media ownership. So we have to give example for Yenadu. Yenadu also in comes under the cross media ownership because they have newspapers, TVs, and radios, etc. Now coming to the conglomerate ownership. It means the ownership of several types of business, including media. For example, when a publishing company also owns newspaper along with hotels, cement, and chit funds. This is a, here is the Enadu is a suitable here for a conglomerate ownership. Enadu is the perfect example, right?
Sir,
Now coming to the, yes.
Sir, if the Hindu newspaper, which is under the chain ownership, tomorrow if they start another TV series or radio series, will they fall under both areas, chain ownership and cross media ownership?
Let's see, because we have the Hindu have now only in the print media only. In case it will go into the, here is the difference. Conglomerate means they have newspaper in, they have media industry, they are in the media industry and also with other industries. That is the conglomerate. Right, clear?
Okay, sir.
Cross media is different. Cross media means either print media and also electronic media. Like so, this is called cross media.
Okay.
Enadu is a conglomerate ownership and also cross media ownership. The Hindu is only just chain ownership because there is only print media divisions like newspapers, magazines, and business newspaper like only. Now
Okay,
coming
sir.
to the vertical integration, one kind of pattern. This happens when a media company monopolizes the production of the ingredients that go into the making of media products. There are some TV companies who own software production units and the distribution networks as well as like a DTH. They are the owner of the DTH. For this, the best example is Sun Network. Sun Network is a news channels in Tamil Nadu and in Telugu also some G News, Gemini News, Sun News we have earlier, and there is also Sun DTH. So this is called vertical integration. They are in the media and they are also distributors. Cable distributor platform also they have. Any doubts?
So far, good, sir.
Yes. Now going with the next one. Now some more forms of ownership like sole proprietorship. Many weekly newspapers, for example, many newspapers are run by sole proprietors. That is weekly newspapers or monthly newspapers, small, medium scale newspapers. These are again partnership. Sometimes in weeklies or monthlies, there is a one or two partnership. Means here is the two people are the owners for that newspapers. And some private limited companies also, some public limited companies also. Here is a more, I am telling about the public limited company. Public limited company means some, we have public sector units. There is also media newspapers. Means that is a journal. Actually, that is an in-house journal. But that is focus on the employees or otherwise retailers, wholesalers of that company. So that is also one kind of information through print media. right? There is also some trust in news agencies. There is a trust, and in print media also some trust. For example, the Tribune, and for example, is Tribune is running by their trust. What is the main policy formulation for the media section? What is the main policy to be followed by the media units, media agencies, media channels, otherwise media means newspapers? The main policy is here editorial policy, including what kind of news they have to be covered, what kind of font they have to use, what kind of design, what kind of format, what kind of content, what kind of advertising they have to publish in their newspaper. And these all actually editorial is only focus on the news content only, but other department like advertising department, they look after the advertisements, but it is again uh, the policy of the management. In case some advertisements which is not suitable, they don't allow to publish, right? Now the main another formula policy is recruitment, like staff recruitment. And staff recruitment, what so they they ask they invite the applications, they interview, and they pick up only their policy, their works related to their policy only, they recruit the staff, right? Maybe clear up to here?
Yes.
Yeah. Now coming to the functions, some important functions about the two main words already we have discussed. That is one is a planning function, and another one is a control function. Any organization, these two are the very important. Now coming to the planning functions in any organization, either it is a media organization or any others. In the planning functions, the main first one is establishing some objectives. Objectives means aim. Either they may profit, they may thinking about the finance, they prepare their objectives related to the finance. Otherwise, if they are supported to one particular party or as a otherwise a section, so they prepare their objectives accordingly, uh, their intention, their what is they want, their aim. Next one is determine activities. So there is a particular activities. Each already we have discussed in a 4 or 5 uh, major departments. So each department has some activity. So planning section, they give some activities to the each section, each department. And another one is a delegate activities. Delegate means here is a particularly to the staff, which staff is works for which newspaper. And another one is giving to the tasks. So each professional in a particularly, there is a one professional is belongs to editing work, one professional is belong to reporting, one professional is belong to the printing, means he is a technical person, the printing section. So then there is the allocation of the work tasks to the particular person. It is also a planning function. Another important is allocate the resources and communicate and coordinate and provide incentives to the workers, employees in the organization. Now coming to the control functions. What are the main controls? Controls means, so if there is a no control in any organization, that may not work properly. It is not work in order. So everywhere must be control functions to establish standards. If the organization is a standard organization, then only it will be run more time and it will give good services. So control function is to establish standards and measures and compare. If there is a no measurement, no one know what is they are doing. So what is they were reaching their aim, is they were reaching the finance goals, so we don't know. So that is why there is a measurements, that is why we know incentives. So people who are working in the newspapers or any media organizations, otherwise in production units, uh, any organization like mainly focus on the sales related sales and marketing, they give some targets to the employees. So they measure it, they evaluate the results, and they give some feedback. If there is a lack, they gives coaching also. Then after they become a, uh, then why all these control functions? To correct the action, to go with in order to reach their goal, to reach their aim. So that is why there is also some control functions. Now coming to the media organizations. In the media organizations need to develop planning and control system in every sphere of its activity, like in a production, in editing, in a scheduling. Scheduling means preparing order by which time they have to receive the news. Means, for example, newspapers, there is a deadline. So newspapers publication, they gives the print in a next day. By the next day, by next day morning, their newspaper have to reach the readers. So uh, here is there is a deadline by 2 o'clock or by 12 o'clock. Depends on their work. Depends on their staff and production capacity. If sometime yeah, sometime in some 20 years ago, the new technologies emerged in some 20-15 years ago. There is a city editions. They gives the news at 2 p.m. also. The news which is happened at 2 p.m. That will cover in the city edition in the next day morning 7 o'clock. All this is depends on the technology. So production, editing, scheduling, advertising. So all these are the major functions in a media. There is in the media also there is a problems. The main problems is circulation. Actually, uh, now it looks like that circulation is growing up, but in generally the literacy is going up. So that is why the circulations looks like a hub. But compared with other countries, developed countries, like some developed countries, now there is a declining the circulation, because already there is a uh, literature rate is high, but now they are merged with the new media new media apps or new media networks, like. So circulation is another one of the major problem for the print media. Now coming to the broadcast media, what is the problem? There is a TRP, television rating points. So if there is a good TRP rates, they get more advertisements. So this is a competition. And another major problem in the media is a paid journalism. Now we are witnessing many newspapers came up with paid journalism, paid journal, paid news. We know these words. Means they are giving news on payment. Actually, news is a free. If that is a new, they have to give that news to the readers. But now the concept, some 2 or 3 years, 3 terms ago, the election process, there is a this paid journalism, paid news word, it is highlighted because many new parties, they are paid amount and to the newspapers, the publicity actually. But the newspapers or broadcast media, their primary intention is service, but they are not following service. They are giving news based on the payment made by their parties or sections. So that is also one kind of the major problem in the media management. And another one is advertorials. Now maybe there is a no advertorial, particular advertorials. Earlier, some 10 years ago, there is a much advertorials because there is a no new media. Now we have new media, so that is why we are now seeing many news related information in the new media only. Any doubts?
So far, good, sir.
I did. Yes. Uh, Now coming to the process and prospects of launching media venture. So first, if anyone interested to launch a venture, the businessman, otherwise media entrepreneur, who who have to choose is a business plan. Already first word only we know in the management, that is a planning. Yes.
Yeah.
Very first word is a planning in a management. So their first plan is business plan. Business plan means whether they want to choose a print media or electronic media. So for example, for print media, if we want to start a print media, we have to reach RNI. Earlier the word is RNI, but presently now the word is Press Register General of India. We have to visit this office and do our application and take permissions. After we give application, will go to the application will go to the district collector for the title, whether our title is an earlier, is anyone chosen our title or a new one. Our title is earlier, is anyone
Yes,
chosen
sir.
or not? Yeah. Yes, some signal problem. Please. Yeah, venture launching like a media, print media. So there is a process. They have first they have to give their application to the Press Registrar General of India office. Then they start the procedure. They send it to the district magistrate or otherwise a collector for title cross checking. With the title, they is earlier there is a title, same similar title or same title. After cross checking, they give the approval. Then after it will come back to the office. They approach to the applicant. Then they can start the newspaper under registration. After the registration, they have to start a newspaper. So they give the number also. Presently, we see RNI number in every newspaper. There is a end of in the last page. There is a editor name, printing place, and a printer. Printer means uh, printer means uh, sometimes like a CEO or a managing editor, proprietor. They were called the printers, and the editor name and RNA number also. Every newspaper contains RNA number. Right. Uh, Now coming to the TV channels. For TV channels, the application to the application they have to give the application to the Secretary, Ministry of Broadcasting, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. There is a ministry in the government of India. After they received, they send it to the Ministry of Home Affairs. Then again, that application sent to the Ministry of Communication. After these approvals, they will give license to start a broadcast news channel. This is the procedure for the broadcasting news channel. Any doubts? So far, we have covered unit number 1 in detail. Is there any doubts for you? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I will continue with unit number 2. This is the unit number 2 is a scope of communication management. The major functions in the management are, you know, planning, organizing, controlling, coordinating, and also motivating. These are the major management functions. Already you know it. And types of managements. Here we have to know about the types of management. Here we are focusing on communication management and types in a public sector units, private sector units, and voluntaries. For public sector units, the example is we have a Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. This is a public sector, means this is a government institution. There is again, there is a number of media units in the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. So that is a public management. Now coming to the private managements, we know many newspapers, television channels are the private channels. Now coming to the voluntary, there is a voluntary organizations also in a management. They gives their information in a form of journals, in a form of small booklets. That is also a communication process. So there is a 3 major types of managements. What is the nature of managerial work? What a manager can do? Typically, it is a typically involves making a profit for the shareholders. Shareholders means the management. Otherwise, for example, public. For example, some institutions they release shares. So there is a shareholders. There is also we called shareholders, stakeholders and shareholders. Shareholders, two different words. Stakeholders means who are either employees or partners or retailers or a wholesaler or a shareholder of that company. All this comes under the stakeholder. And creating valued products at a reasonable cost to the customers, and providing rewarding employment opportunities for the employees. These are the managerial works. Now, control function, the importance of control. Why the importance? Already we read in our first unit about the top management, middle management, and lower management, and also workers. So communication management is the systematic planning, implementing, monitoring, and revision of the all the channels of communication. Here is the channel means not only news channels, newspapers also one kind of channel. Uh, any part, any type of, any form of communication is also called channel within an organization and between organizations, right? It may cover you in the public relations. We have one subject in the semester 4. There is a, a detailed about the organization, what is public, what is internal public, what is external public. Everyone is given in the section in the semester 4, the subject public relations. Now, the major role, what is the major role in communication of the communication manager? So you have to design of organizational communication structure. Means in the communication section only, here we are discussing about the communication part. Like in general, for example, we will take the B.R. Ambedkar Open University. There is a communication part, is a public relations officer. There is a structure, public relations officer, next assistant public relations officers, next junior assistants, and office subordinates. This is the structure in Ambedkar Open University. Like that, in every organization, every communication area, there is some structure. So the structure is designed by the manager, and you have the manager's another role is to define what is communication, what is the principles, what is the standards to employees. So you have to give some work to the employees based on the definition of the communication. Another one is formulation. Formulate the communication goals of the organization. That is another important role for the managers. One more is organizing crisis communication. We see recently some miscommunication in some organization, that is a cave coffee day, for example. There is a miscommunication, some miscommunication is went there. So there is a crisis management. Then the crisis manager means who is ultimately who is relating to the communication department of that company, who handle the crisis, and he is save this is ability, is he shown his ability, and he save the organization. So crisis, whenever the crisis comes, he have to give some strategic implementations to overcome this crisis. Another major role is research in the communication context, not the product context, only communication context. So the manager role is to research the communications, means whether their communication is reaching the target audience or not. So you have to give some, you have to take feedbacks, you have to conduct some surveys on and off. Then only you know the original result, whether the information is reaching the target audience or not. And another major role is organizing communication training for the staff, which are in their section. Somewhere maybe a 4-member, somewhere maybe a 20-member. Some, for example, BHEL, there is a BHL have some units in various other sections also. BHL headquarters is in Hyderabad, even though some units in all over India. There is also individual communication managers. So they have to give the training to the staff. Another one is to provide corporate presentation to publics, media, and uh, and also to give their details in their websites. That is the manager role, communication manager role in organization. Here is a we are only focusing in communication only, not the whole organization. Means their production side is not we are not discussing. Just we are discussing here is only on communication. There is a manager have to develop some. You have to give some training. You have to give some advice to the management about the organizational development and to give effective management in economic benefit, profits. So he have to give some structured informal learning. He has to give formal training courses of various kinds. And another major point is education. Education means not only academics, just education means awareness. Also is the part of the communication manager role. There is any company, there is a, you know, any company, we have challenges in any position, in any manager position or sub editor position or reporter position or a circulation manager position or in any general organizations like a public relations officer. Everywhere there is some challenges. So they have to face these challenges, particularly administrative incompetence. That is a major challenge for the manager, communication manager. And another one is attitude problems. Attitude problems also major challenge for the communication manager. So how to overcome this? So what kind of approaches have to overcome these problems? The major one is a dysfunction analysis. So the communication manager have to monitor, you have to give coaching, you have to give job rotation and professional development training also you have to give. Now coming to the business workflow. Business workflow, that is upward feedback. Means already we have discussed about the feedback. So we have to collect the feedback from the employees, all kind of employees, or stakeholders and executives. And then after they give some education, some supervisory training, then only that company will survive. We know the management education, for example, MBA and PG diploma in HR management, PG diploma in hospital management, PG diploma in financial management. So these are the points in semester in unit 2. In unit 2, we have covered the major topics like nature of managerial work and functions of management, manager's role, communication manager role, and management development, and some management consulting also. Sometimes every organization there is a no communication process. There is a no department, particularly that point. So they contact the consultant agency. Some consultant agencies, communication consultant agencies, like in general we called it as a public relations agencies, freelance agencies. So they give their support to that particular company. This is called consulting. Yeah, here is we are stopping this unit, and some signal problem also I have. So we'll go
And
with other. Yeah, any doubts?
no, sir. And monsoon also is not well, sir. It's raining. Hello.
I think sir left.
No problem. Yes. Sir. Sunil sir is not in the list right now.
Yeah.
We will wait and see.
No, he said we are stopping and ask for any questions, right?
Yes. Till 40 minutes class we have online.
40 minutes.
Yes. According to timetable. No. Till 6. Our class should end at 6 p.m.
10 minutes बाकी.
Yes.
Oh, 5:50.
Yes.
Sir has lined back.
Okay, we will wait.
This time for the interaction. Any doubts you have? This is the time for interaction. Is there any doubts for you?
Sir.
Based on these 2 units, we have covered today 2 units. We have a problem also. Technical problem is here. Some signal problem and technical problem
Yes,
only is
weather
there.
Is not good, sir.
Yes.
Sir,
yes,
any important questions, sir, from these 2 chapters which we need to focus?
I will tell you. I will tell you in the last class.
Okay, sure,
Overall,
sir.
after completing all chapters means a major. I will cover almost all major topics. I am covering major topics, and you may note down my number also. I will give you my some. I have prepared some short notes on every unit. I will
Sure,
later.
sir.
I will share with you. If you note my number, I will give you
Yes, yes, sir.
in personally or in the group, or I will do it. Please note down my number. I have given in this chat room. Any doubts, individual, please? Is any doubts in individuals? If there is no doubts, I will conclude this session because some technical problem also is facing.
All right. We will
Next.
continue next class.
Yes. Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right.
All right.
मसूद,
बोलो।
ऑफलाइन के कुछ नोट्स है क्या आपके? ने कुछ तो भी लिखे क्या?
मेरे पास थोड़े फोटोज है। अभी देखो ये लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग रिकॉर्ड हो गया यूट्यूब पे।
अच्छा, विल टॉक इट।
अब ये यूट्यूब में रिप्ले देख सकते हैं।
नहीं, इसकी बात नहीं कर रहे, ऑफलाइन में जो भी नोट्स था उसका बात कर रहा
ऑफलाइन हाँ, मैं क्लासेस अटेंड करा। मैं काम करता हूँ, स्कैन करता हूँ। हम फिर नेक्स्ट क्लास में इसमें चैट में फॉरवर्ड कैसे करते हैं देख के फॉरवर्ड करता हूँ।
हमारा वो ग्रुप है ना, यादगिरी सर को फॉरवर्ड करके बोल देना।
हाँ,
ठीक है, फिर
टोटल
लिस्ट।
5 सब्जेक्ट्स के नोट्स है मेरे पास।
हाँ।
ओके, 1 मंथ ऑफलाइन क्लासेस के नोट्स है।